Hey guys, it's Bethany from Reality Daydream, and I'm here to share another fun tutorial with you. You know how much I love plants. They're everywhere in my house. I'm obsessed with them. So today I'm going to show you a new tutorial on how to make this DIY hanging planter. It's wood and it's macrame, and I'm going to show you how to get this driftwood finish using Mohawk stain. And I'm gonna make a few different sizes and shapes of this to hang as a grouping up in a corner, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I think this might mean that I need to get a few more plants, like long trailing ones. Don't you think that would be ideal for this situation? I mean, I don't have enough. So I'm starting out with these two 1x10s or 1x12s, whatever they are. It doesn't really matter because you can make whatever size or shape you want of this. Normally I would use a tape measure to find the center, but I can't find one. So I just cut a piece of paper to this size, and then I'm gonna fold it in half to find the center because I'm a MacGyver. So if you fold it in half, the crease is right where the center is. We do the same thing on this side. And then we can use our other board as a straight edge to connect the lines. With the first planter that I made, I just drew like a curve like this and brought it back to here. And then I cut that shape out and used it as a template to do this half and then two more halves. But I'm gonna try something else this time. I cut out a piece of paper the same size as this, and then I folded it in half this way and then in half this way so that it will be a symmetrical thing. And then I think I'm gonna do, I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but I'm gonna try and do I don't know, maybe it'll look like an oblong hexagon, octagon of some kind. I don't know if this is gonna work. That's kind of cool. Do we like that? Okay, I think what I've decided is that I'm going to do this in the middle and then kind of have this come up to a peak on both sides. And then it'll kind of come down thin and get wide and then back narrow again. Does that make sense? We'll see how it works. Okay, since I know for sure that this edge is straight on the board, I'm gonna do it this way and do half of it here and then do the other half on this side because I want these edges to connect together when we assemble the whole thing. Ooh, this just got me thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do like scallops? Maybe I'll do that on the next one. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this one out first, and then just to make sure that all four pieces are gonna be identical, I'm gonna use this one as a template to trace out the others, and that way they'll be perfect. Now that I have this cut out, I just found a random thing nearby that's about the right size to make my circle. And I'm just gonna trace that on. And then cut that out too. These pieces need to be sanded pretty bad, but I wanted to show you guys how this is going to go together. Can you see it now? And then this one will go on the back side. It's hard to kind of put it together to show you, but you get the picture, right? So I'm going to cut some rectangles to go on each of these sides to affix all 4 edges to. And one of them is going to come, let me use my other hand, one of them is going to come out a little bit longer because I'm going to put the little pedestal on it that the plant will sit on. Does that make sense? Okay, I just grabbed one of these scraps that are left over from this, and I used an L square to make a 45-degree angle here with a straight line. So now I want to cut a piece this length and then another one a little bit longer than this. So I'm going to trace these on, and then I'm going to cut these with the miter saw. Alright, do you guys see how awesome this is going to be? This will go right on there. And then we'll cut a little circle to put on top of there for the pedestal. On the first one of these that I made, I actually assembled it first and then stained it, but I think it's going to be easier to just stain it before it's assembled. So I'm going to do that now. This stain by Mohawk is their designer series stain in driftwood, and it's just such a beautiful, perfect driftwood shade, and it goes on super smooth. So I'm going to do that next. The next step is to use some wood glue and glue these together. Oops. So you don't want the glue to go up past a certain spot on this one, since this one's going to be sticking up higher. And you can just wipe off the excess that oozes out. And then I'm using a pin nailer to just kind of chunk these into place, since I can't really use a clamp. The next step should be to cut a little circle and put it here on the pedestal, but since I have this eye hook right here, I'm gonna go ahead and drill my pilot hole in the top and put my eye hook in, and then I'll head upstairs to the scroll saw to do this pedestal. Now to get my circle for the pedestal, I'm just taking this other piece of scrap wood from cutting out the other parts, and I just found a thing of ribbon to trace for the circle that was about the right size. Just gonna trace around that. And then I'm gonna cut this out on the scroll saw. I'm just going to put a dot of glue in the center of this, and I am not going to use the pin nailer for this part because it would be really hard to get it in there. I'm going to just kind of eye this, make sure that it looks like it's in the center as best as I can, and then I'm just going to prop this up against something so it's upright for a little bit while the paint dries. This macrame part is totally optional, but I think it gives a fun extra flair to have some macrame in addition to the wood. So I'm just gonna do a half square knot over and over to make one of those spirally macrame situations. And this is not a macrame tutorial, so if you're not sure how to do the half square knot, I'm just gonna link it in the description below. But I'm gonna link the video that I made in the description below for you to go check out. Good and secure, and all we have to do now is attach our macrame to the eye hook. So I'm sure that there is a way that you're supposed to do this, but on mine I just put two of these through.